Practical Principles. This is Practical Prince. Sadly, we don't have the good sound today. I think I just need to replace the cord at some point, so that is what it is, but yeah, really not much more to say on that. We're still going for an hour. I do need to jump after that to get to work, so. Hey, Lavina. I'm doing well. How are you? Sorry to keep you waiting. I'll go ahead and set up our phone, our camera. I hope you can hear me all right. Gotta remember to turn that down. Don't want a feedback loop. And we want to see cards, not me. We can already see me. Okay. Yeah, the sound, well, I think my cord's got a crook in it somewhere, and I should really just look up how to fix that. But. Hey, Cornelia. Okay, so a lot of questions. Let me go ahead and see if we can get our phone. Ah, darn it. It's tilted in such a way that it'll be upside down if I'm not careful. Ah, that's a fair amount of space today. All good. Okay, so it feels like a Destiny question. There's a lot that isn't necessarily Destiny, but let's go ahead and show cards while we're at it. Okay. Yeah, very slanted view, but you can see more of the table. All right, and career, how would it go? Married life. I mean, the last two are kind of related. I don't know if we'll get separate answers, but we'll see. Okay. This one. Okay. Let's think this area. Oh, was that too high? Oh, yeah. I'm doing it too high. Okay. Well. Let's see. Yeah, we'll do that, Cornelia. It'll just take a little. That one has a lighter feel to it. So. I think that might be everything. Okay. Yeah, so they did combine the last two. This is more like quality of life again. That one's a light one. That one's the main one. But then establishing and, well, outcome. How will the business be good? So, and we can see. Okay. The lovers. Okay. 5 of swords. A hanged man. And what is that? King of Pentacles. Okay. Yeah, I kind of want to read through all of them because some I think are good, but as far as how they apply, some I'm concerned about, but I don't know if I should be that concerned. So, we'll just go in the order of the questions. So we'll start with the lovers. And this is the one for establishing your career. So, indicates relationships and decisions. Obviously, this is about the career. Sometimes this card will show up when you are at a crossroads in your life. There may be a big choice on your horizon. The Lover's card can predict meeting a new partner or a career opportunity. Your choice and decision will significantly affect your future. The person who has entered your life has a positive influence and may offer true love. Follow your heart, not your mind. If you are already in a relationship, it is time to take it to a deeper level. The message is to follow your heart's desire. So, I mean, that seems promising for establishing. It might be different than what you had anticipated, but the outcome, well, I guess that's the next card. But as far as getting up and running, it seems like that'll be fine. 5 of Swords is what we're going to be worried about as far as how that will go. Represents battle and loss, conflict and contradictions. Perhaps you are unsure whether you must go through with the situation due to misaligned thoughts or ethical dilemmas. As these thoughts persist, you must realize that you must not give up. There are conflicts that must be resolved. Think about what you are fighting for and pick your battles. This card shows up when you must think before you act. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is retreat when the battle is over, rather than fighting a war that cannot be won. Yeah. So, I mean, it's not fatalistic. It's not going to end your business or anything. Um, but it's definitely going to be rough at some point. Not saying you can't overcome that and come out better for it, but I mean, there will be hardship. So then on to Hanged Man and then King of Pentacles, which the second was lighter. Uh, there it is. Appears when you are in a period of suspension. This card tells you that small sacrifices may have to be made in order to benefit the big picture. Begin to make a move in a direction by letting go of an outcome that may not serve you. If something is not working out, release your grip and detach from the situation. This card may appear frequently when a person is feeling frustrated with their progress or lack of progress. The message is that your circumstance needs time to evolve. Whether this is a situation that involves your home, your relationship, or your finances, the Hanged Man asks us to take a step back, and perhaps the universe has its own plan. So, I mean, that seems normal for married life. Just living together and that stuff you didn't know before, working out the kinks. That doesn't sound alarming to me at all. That's settling as far as I can tell. That is a relatively short term. That didn't really speak to the long term on the relationship. But, I mean, that's immediately most relevant. Those pentacles, right? Yeah. So this was the lighter one. The King of Pentacles has achieved mastery in the material world, particularly with success in finances and life planning. This card symbolizes the father archetype, who is a visionary and works hard for rewards. This figure is reliable, generous, practical, and feels happiest in a settled relationship. This card often comes up in a reading to indicate that financial matters are improving. Enjoy the success and comfort you have worked towards. If there is an ongoing conflict, it is going to soon be resolved. So, and again, this was a lighter one. But yeah, it sounds like big picture stuff. I mean, the important matters have been sorted out and are fine. So, um, it didn't really speak to love and romance much. Obviously, this would be post marriage, I assume. So, kind of makes sense. You get a little disenchanted with reality, um, but yeah, I mean, it would work. I don't know long term if it's um, what you hoped and dreamed it would be, but it would work. And it doesn't sound like it would be terribly difficult or damaging or anything like that. So, um, you're thinking of the lovers. Let me read it again. I mean, the way you phrased the question, uh, it was more so just you and it being your business. So, I mean, obviously, the other half of your question was about him and the relationship, but this wasn't necessarily touching on that. Yeah, I don't necessarily see him getting involved. Um, a positive influence, yes, um, but I don't know that he would be doing the day to day or any of that stuff. Um, could it? Maybe, um, but we didn't really get a sense of that here. Hopefully that clarifies. Okay. We're not doing tarot at this point. We're just speculating. I don't know what kind of work from home you're talking about, but for me, it wouldn't matter where I am. Okay. Well, I mean, with the lovers, we did get an opportunity. Um, I don't know how close that is to what you had in mind, but I mean, it's going to work out one way or the other. I mean, it speaks to that decision, that choice. Yeah. But I didn't really get a sense of stuff not working out. Okay. No problem. And anybody else who wants to read, go ahead and ask your question. I'm just doing them as I can. Positive. I think we're just going to keep using this. So probably the 3-card spread, but we'll see how it comes out. It'll surprise me occasionally. And then if there's extra information, I'll let you know. Okay. Let's see. Keep freaking out down this graph these days. Or today at least. Okay. I feel like all of them contain hints, given that you know cards as well. I'm not too worried about explaining that. They were light touches, though, so no strong details, but we'll still have our yes, no. Hierophant, 8 of Wands, and what's that, 9 of Wands? I'm pretty sure those are yeses. I'll double check. And then the Hierophant. sure it's a yes too. Yeah, it's the 7 and 10 I need to watch out for. And 5, I guess. So yeah, all 3 yes cards. There's hints in the cards themselves, but again, don't feel the need to dig into that right now. It's the Hierophant, 8 of Wands, and the 9 of Wands. So, just in case you want to go do that. But yeah, overall answer is yes. What do you mean? Okay, maybe it was just slow. There we go. Um, let's see. I mean, the Hierophant speaks to custom, tradition. I mean, in this regard, it's almost speaking to just the fact that there's process that has to be run through. We had 8 of Wands and 9 of Wands. 8 of Wands, if I remember right, is pushing, more so 9 of Wands, pushing through the grand finale you don't want. Grit. So, sounds like that's near the end. And then 8 of Wands. Yeah, I mean, that's keeping on. So, yeah, I'm not really getting us, nothing even hinting really at a lack. But again, those were just light hints, anyways. So, I don't think there's any unexpected trouble, but it does seem to be near the end at the very least. Just given those wands that we had. Yep. Shut up. So yeah, anybody else who wants to ask questions, go ahead. We've still got a good chunk of time. And if anybody wants to follow up, ask something else, or any other looking, you're more than welcome to. Yes. Perfect timing. And I'm just thinking, I'm probably looking cool with this mic here. That's not actually being used. Yeah, I should replace that cord, man. Unless I can figure out what's wrong with it. Yeah. Hey Rakesh, how's it going? Yeah. And Rakesh, if you want to go ahead and ask your question, we'll just do it after Cornelius right here. So let me check it. Okay, there. We're just doing one card apparently. Yeah, it sounds like no. I mean, as far as the meaning, it's transformation change, but yeah, I would imagine that, yeah, his sick is going to keep him home at this point. So, sorry about that. I know you've been looking forward to it. You too. Take care. Okay. Update caption. If anybody wants to, they can go ahead and drop a question to me. Or I can just practice monologuing, I guess. Don't know what I would monologue about. We can just show my face. At this point, go ahead and drop your questions in. We'll read what we can. Otherwise, we can just chat if you want. Although, it might be more of a monologue right now, in which case, I should probably figure out some shtick or something to do for monologuing. Because, yeah, I don't really do it much. Yeah. Yeah, Olivia, it's fine. You can ask another question. Yes, we can take your question. That's fine. Can I answer it? I don't know, but we'll try. Assuming two products. Looks like we're using Prisma. Because there's, what's he thinking? And then there's, when this stuff start happening. I don't know that we're too concerned about this, because didn't we read about this the other day and how you guys needed to slow down, take time? So I mean, as far as delaying, it seems to make sense, but anyways. Oh, I'm shortcut. Sorry. Keep forgetting to turn that on after I turn it off. Not too far. Most of the time. I think we've got our product. Okay. We'll check. Let me finish the video first. Okay. And we can ask that to you first. I just want to read this will clarify. Is it still screwed there? But I might just need a little from that side. I'm going to screw. So yeah, our win, and then thoughts detracting towards you, self, well, more inward, introspective. So two of chalices, Knight of Swords, Famously, Happy Friday, Justice. Okay. So that's speaking to what's on his mind, taking time. I mean, given that this is for himself, more introspective, it's what he wants in a relationship. He's trying to determine what he needs out of that. Justice, as far as, because this is thoughts relating towards you that are on his mind. Although it's skewed. I'll go ahead and read that, because then I'll need to figure out the offset. So justice, and this is the upright. We'll figure out the skew after. Cause and effect, balance, accountability. This card is a reminder that justice is coming. You can only get away with unscrupulous behavior for so long. Eventually, your motives will be found out, and there will be swift retribution to follow. But do not fear being held accountable for your actions. But do not fear. Being held accountable for your actions is how balance will be restored to the universe. It's time to get back. But then there's the skew, so let's figure out what that is. Yeah, I think this is speaking to your expectations or what you're hoping for, and how some of that might be nitpicky, might be a little weak as far as how he's thinking of it, because it's a little bigger than that, but it's that same sort of idea that in all reality, it's not necessary or important. But that does need to be worked out. So, yeah. Whether or not that happens before or after marriage, don't know. That's probably what he's wondering, whether he needs to prioritize that. But, Knight of Swords, and that's upright. That's just stuff that's distracting him. So let's go find that. Ambitious, fixated on goals, determined. For all his ardor, the knight can be cold and unfeeling, focused only on achieving victory. He neglects empathy, compassion, and restraint. If you find out, look deeply into your methods and means. If you find your approaches lukewarm or weak-willed, imbue yourself with this cavalier determination. But if you are overly imperious or fixated only on achieving your goals, it may be time to take a step back, consider the feelings of others, and allow new energy to flow into your life. So, yeah. I would put this more on introspective, but there's a good chance he's reflecting on other relationships he's had in the past, trying to learn from them, how forward to be, what parts about himself he needs to moderate a little more. So, yeah, nothing unusual there. As far as when, this is a read, the world, and then the moon is skewed. So, I mean, the world makes sense. I mean, we've already read on this before. You're both needing a little more time to be a little more whole, a little more perfect. That's just going to take what it needs. Let's see if we can get clarity from the moon. And again, that one's skewed. But, so I'm going to read the upright because we don't have skews, but we'll figure it out from there. Secrets, confronting self, illusions. When the moon rises, it's as if your familiar surroundings become an eerie shadow world. The The fears and sadnesses so repressed in your daily life become starkly apparent, and you are forced to confront your often neglected subconsciousness. This world, though fraught with wild imaginings, is somehow truer than reality, and there is much to learn from your journey through it. The shimmering stillness of your inner being is always present, but rarely traversed. Yeah. I mean, this just seems to be confirming what we got before. Sorry about that. That it's more on the introspective side. Because, I mean, people can work on being more charitable, generous, improving the world that they live in. As far as the wholeness that needs to be achieved, it's more on the self. And, I mean, we already got that in the previous region, so there's really nothing new there. We didn't really get a sense of the time that that would take, but that's the condition, I guess, would be the way to put it, for when stuff will start going forward. Okay, had a lot of people hop in, so I'm going to try bringing through. Hey, love, how's it going? Okay, we had KK. No problem. All right. Give me a sec. I'm going to read for KK. Rakesh put in their question. I didn't really get a sense of more or less. And frankly, it could go either way. It just depends on how you guys approach it and how much you put into getting that done. So I just need to shuffle again, but oh well. New job this one. Let's see. Okay. Hold on. Go ahead and ask. We are running a little short on time, but we're going to try and squeeze as many in as we can. Yeah. And you'll be next, Rakesh. Don't worry. But thanks for repeating that. That's just fucking that at this point. Okay. Let me make sure. Do we have extra information? First, second, and really this one's just filling out the yes no. But it doesn't feel super strong. So, Devil, King of Wands. So, no, yes, and then yes. So, will you get a job? Yes. Will it be this month? Maybe. The Devil puts a damper on this. So, it might be more in January or something like that. But still, it's getting close to that. Um, the Devil was the first thing you needed to know about. The Devil speaks to temptations, addictions, stuff like that. So given the answer we got, it might be that you're struggling with that a bit or will struggle with that. So I guess if you can work to counter that, plan to counter that, that might help you with your timeline. And then King of Wands. That was a lighter one, but let me see what stands out. Yeah. Passionate, creative, bold. Yeah, being forward. Those sort of traits are going to help you. But yeah, that was a light detail. So the gist, you got. So let's go ahead and do a cache. And we're wondering if she lets you go. I'm going to shuffle that briefly, but this is the destiny question. So let me grab that deck. Okay, so you saw the previous one had 3 cards. This only has 2. We're basically missing 1. There's just too much agency, choice, influences going on to really nail this down. So there's a lot of wiggle room with this one. Again, that one's just filling out the yes, no. This one has information. So 3 of Cups, celebration, abundance, 8 of Swords, no, yeah. So really this could go either way. And it's not really leaning strongly one way or the other. Thankfully, the 8 of Swords wasn't the meaningful one, because that would be hard to work with. I'll go ahead and read the 3 of Cups for you, because that does have some information. But yeah, there's just too much wiggle room there to really nail it down. 3 of Cups. This is about joyful celebration, a time for indulgence, parties, reunions. There's an outpouring of love and emotional growth, strengthening your connection with others. This card reveals an emotional or physical healing. Ensure to spend time with people who raise your vibration and energy. 3 is a number that signifies creation, and this indicates a creative time and a positive moment to birth new goals and ideas. It is time to let yourself shine. So, yeah. I mean, the part standing out to me is connection with others and strengthening that. So, hopefully that helps, Rakesh. A lot of uncertainty to deal with there, but we weren't shut down, so that's promising. Oops, not that one. This one. KK, we're probably not going to have time. If you want, message me, and I can just do it later. Ace, if you had a question, go ahead and drop it in. There we go. So we've got love is in the air now. And then Katika Toka. Hopefully I'm saying that right. No problem. Why does B get nervous around me? This doesn't seem like a Destiny question. Let's figure out what deck this is. Okay, so we're using this one. No problem. Trying to get an understanding. That seems like light. Oh, sorry. Gotta bring it down. I want you guys to be able to see. So. Okay, so these two are the strongest elements. Definitely an influence, but not as strong, and then a lighter detail. Touching on that. 5 of chalices, the Hierophant, 2 of chalices, and then 4 of chalices. So, I mean, they've dealt with some sort of hurt, loss before. There is, Tamarika. You can ask your question. I am running short on time, though, so. I've scheduled the next session already. There will be another one around the same time as well. So if you want to just hope on that, we'll plan on that either way. But for love, they're dealing with some sort of hurt in the past. So they're definitely wary of that. Hierophant speaks to tradition, custom. It can also speak to structure. So the like organizational structure is what I'm thinking when I say that. So I don't know if you guys have different positions of authority for whatever reason. That might be playing a good part into that. So, yeah. Don't know what this loss is, but it's understandable that that would be creating some fear and anxiety. Here, let me double check just to make sure I'm getting that right. Because normally that would be speaking to the relationship. Yeah. And they want the connection. And it's probably because they want it that it's important to them, which is highlighting all this other stuff. So Yeah. And then Four of Chalices speaks to a bit of disconnectedness. So I don't know if they're just naturally introverted or if they maybe feel a little left out. Again, that was a very light touch. Mostly some fear of hurt, loss that they had before is, well, putting a damper on it, so to speak. Hopefully that helps. I mean, if you just want to be forward about it, that might work, but we'll see. Okay. Kritika Kolka. What does it mean? That's going to be a placement question too. Yeah. Yeah, it's very convenient. Might be right. Let me check. Oh, sorry. Let me put in there. Yeah, so it seems like this is sort of the trail of what they think. I don't know that one is necessarily more important than another. It does sort of start here, so I guess that gets emphasis for whatever that's worth. Ace of Pentacles, King of Chalices, Six of Pentacles. So, Ace of Pentacles is hopeful, speaks of a new beginning, although definitely uncertainty associated with that. Let me go ahead and double check King of Chalices and then Six of Pentacles. There we go. Reigning emotions, powerful conduit, in control. All about reining in the emotions, recognizing their true power. He carves out channels for them to flow in advantageous, intentional ways. So basically trying to harness emotions for the better. How successful he is, or she, I guess, I don't know. Um, we're not sure, but that's their intent. That's what they're thinking. And then Six of Pentacles. Excess, generosity, paying it forward. After many struggles, life has granted you the luxury of excess. Give freely, never forgetting your own hard times that have brought you to this day. Alternatively, if you are in need of charity, don't be too proud to receive it. Often life will restore its equilibrium without your consent when you are least prepared. So, a sense of give and take, really. Which way they skew, I don't necessarily have a strong sense of, but that's the notion. Honoralis, nice to meet you. I'm going to need to hop off, actually. yeah, I'm caught up, but I'm running a tad late. So um, if you want, message me on Facebook or Instagram or one of those platforms. I don't know if YouTube does messaging. Um, I'm obviously on there, but um, I just have to go now. So no problem. Glad I could help. So yeah, to those we didn't have time for or are hopping on late, um, I need to get going. You can reach out to me on social media. I'll just try to do readings as I have time. Otherwise, I've scheduled the stream for next Wednesday, and I'll be scheduling the one for next Friday, same time right now. So you can plan on those if you want to ask live. Um, and yeah, hope you do well. Sorry for the delay in getting your answers. And we'll just pop the schedule caption, I guess, so that people have that for reference. But yeah, hope you're doing well, and until